needs to get a Radiance at a good time so they have that PL solution. And then who's actually their frontliner? It has Death Prop. Always really scares me when you're Lina and Earthshaker. There's ways for her to just die instantly. She does act.
That make a big mess.
They just don't have the heroes necessary to enable each other. Feels a little.
Yeah, I just don't know who leads the charge, right? It's gonna have to be like a BKB Batrider charging in, and that's a lot of farm that you're at. Especially in this really tough matchup. It's not an easy one for the Batrider.
Well, that and you think of the fact that, you know, yes, they have switched off roles, you know, on and off over on the side of Hippos, but like Stormstormer, like this is where he shines, right? This is his home. The mid lane is where he was born and bred here, it feels like. And then all of a sudden you're bringing in someone who's recently, you know, tried to kind of flip over a little bit, but maybe not as experienced, especially not with, you know, so.
No, that's always a good thing to point. Seeing bottom lane, they have a little bit of a better time this time with the Undying. Without the Undying, they've CM to at least nuke away the Nature's Prophet, but Wraith King, he just gets bullied. This is where rASmus can actually go Blightstone this game. Last game, he had to go for Boot Start. You're versus Wraith King, he has like no armor. We talk about that so often. You just hit him with the Treants and with yourself. They can't, unless rASmus makes...
He's all bones. What's he gonna do, you know?
He is all bones. He even gets a second ring of protection delivered. Oh. This is something I haven't seen. I've seen the chainmail rushes, the Helm of Iron Will rushes, but double ring of protection is quite...
You like it? You think that it's trying to put a band-aid on a situation that's already very uncomfortable?
It's kind of a waste of gold. He doesn't build up into anything, so that's my only...
Makes sense. It's cheap.
It is what it is. Cheap, but it doesn't provide... It literally provides you nothing. But we'll see if it makes his lane a little bit better.
Harass here in the top lane. Not too much. Wave is getting a bit.
Yeah, at least this lane is... It can be a little bit easier to play because they are double range versus Witch Doctors. They at least don't have to worry about... Oh!
That's
okay,
fine.
That's
fine. It looked cool for a moment there, Muff.
Hey, at least he got it. You never get those chances.
That's true. Very true.
So at least they can get the harassment and they're not at risk of dying up here unless they make a Hippomaniacs, but they're not slowing down yet. He already has his ring out.
I would argue that it feels very, very scary right now. The fact that as well as he is in that mid lane with last hit denies, and then also the fact that Ace is still having all of this free farm.
Yeah. Ace, and they've even skilled they've recognized that they can't actually kill the Rubick and the Death Prophet. They just skilled the Voodoo Restoration, has Ring of Health, so he can keep that harassment. His free farm will continue. Gilgir, we very often, I feel like.
Especially when he's playing the Nyx Assassin. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Very on point.
His Nyx and his Shaker. Shaker's always great because you can enchant Totem hit it. Well, that one happens. The Nyx, you're right. I saw him get like 4.
I think we were casting that game together.
I think we were, yeah.
The true assassin. You could not protect a courier against that man. Pretty calm right now in terms of laning. Probably going to see a little bit of movement coming out around that 4-minute mark. Just runes for people.
Looking to get a little aggressive on bottom. They have to watch out, though. The fissure is in, and Mambos is kind of stuck. They'll be...
I'm cold. I know.
Some movement coming out from the side of Hippos here, and also from the side of Hellbear Smashers looking runes. Is going to be bottom.
Come to mama.
Gaben just Smashers. I saw, you know, last game as well. Poor Hippomaniacs. 4-minute run.
Nuh-uh.
Therefore, that Death Prophet, who is really starting to fall behind here. 14 and 5.
Oh, the bat, yeah.
Or sorry, oh yeah, that's right. Death Prophet's so used to seeing it in the mid lane.
Yeah, Death Prophet's doing okay. It's just they can't slow down Ace because he got the Ring of Health so early and because tOfu went for the heal. Curry, the one thing that you have to do for a bat now, if you are struggling this much, you have to have a backup plan if his lane does go bad, which it is going bad. He needs to get enabled, otherwise this hero, especially in the lane, really can fall behind. Gilgir on the hunt.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh no, the puppy, no! Gilgir hates puppies, confirmed.
No.
Invisibility.
Runes are up though, 5 minutes here. Curry's gonna be able to grab the bounty, and they do a scan, so they do realize he moved his way over. Did he stack though, is the question.
He did. He did stack his ancient. He is identifying the fact that, you know, he's first Lina, lane is rough, has to have the way to go. top.
tOfu is actually gonna escape, I think. They don't have quite enough damage thanks to that Voodoo Restoration being skilled.
It's actually paying off, very much so up top. They're not getting kills in this top lane, but that's not the plan. That's the plan from Smash. Yo, which done.
I mean, you look at that. You look at the top of all these last hits and nice, and it's all going over to the cores on the side of Hellbear Smasher.
Definitely a concern. And rASmus isn't getting pressured. He's not slowing down the Wraith King too. Actually, he's slowing him down pretty decently. And he's gonna hit 6 on the Nature's Prophet, and that's when the pace of the game really starts to kick up. Top lane has to be super worried of a big Wrath and Nature coming through. Even the mid bat, things start to really speed up really quick. Lucky for.
I think they got another stack off as well, so. For bat.
Yeah, at least a hard camp. Not the Ancient, though. I want to see a quad Ancient get boots without having just being in a horrible position. Travel to match.
Uh-oh.
He needs to just get.
I thought for sure that they were going to make moves on Tipek here. Again, they're just focused on farming it. Yeah, no, I mean, he was sitting so low. I was actually very surprised that they didn't try to make play, but I'm guessing Ace was like, no, this will be Tipek, hit farm.
Yeah, they could have probably swung rASmus pre-6 up there, but I think they're really focusing on just, we're free farming in our lanes anyway. Like Lina, PL, free farm, Nature's Prophet's getting full levels and full farm too, so wait to make a big aggressive move unless kill for that Wrath.
Patience is gonna pay off.
Radiant's middle
That
tower
coming out
is
here,
under
so
attack.
Batrider is catching up in terms of net worth, so he's doing exactly what we need him to do.
He's gonna have to be able to farm it at a quick pace. He's thankful that he has an arcane rune too, so maybe he'll get it at a pretty close time to Stormstormer, but Stormstormer has the.
Seeing what starts to do when he's got that free map.
You've got 6 now. They've got Wrath of Nature. Let's see if Gilgir looks to set up for a move. They can easily kill up toward that top lane if they'd like to see. Same thing for mid. A stun, an Earthshaker Fissure plus a Lina stun. Wrath of Nature, he's dead.
I think he picked up a smoke earlier.
Yeah, he's got the 2. He's done this a lot of their games. He actually buys one right at the start. Because you know you start with 2.
Right,
he actually just gets frequency built ready. He's one of the few 4 players I've seen very consistent.
Well, they have a lot of wards up though over on the side of Hippomaniacs, which does rotate out of the lane and he doesn't use a smoke. They'll be able to spot him a mile away, so. It's 8 minutes, we still haven't had a first blood yet. I'd like to point that out.
No, we haven't. And Curry's gonna start, so let's watch.
All right, here we go.
The Batrider. Look at his net worth right now, and look at the lean. So this is, this is one of those big reasons why we're seeing so often. Sure, your lane can go bad, but this is the move. Gilgir smoking. They've got the Wrath available. Easily kills Death Prophet.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Teleporting out. Becca's all alone. Nothing happened here. Spotted out, Tipek though. Spot over here on the side. Fissure comes out, he's gonna be blocked up as rASmus comes up as well. And they've got the Maledict out over onto Tipek, but he's managed to survive a little bit here, being able to use those Spirit Siphons. Like, alright. Gilgir though, not if Gilgir finds him. He's looking, Frostbite comes out from sehny. Gilgir needs to be careful. Curry is here, starting to get those stacks sticky up. Yellow say to break down the trees. Gilgir is taking too much. He's gonna get dragged back. This is gonna be probably our first blood here. So they'll find a kill onto Gilgir. Not managed to get a tower.
The Hippomaniacs, they were prepared for it. They had the Batrider just naturally farming his ancient right there anyway. He connects over. Look at his net worth now.
Yeah.
Above the Lina. Such a brutal start. That Stormstormer was crushing the lane. He just does his ancients.
Stormer though, playing up against the tower, realizing there's no lasso really to worry about for now, so.
Yep. Refill the bottle mid. Mambos gets the pressure pushed off of him down bottom decently. Now he's going to be able to jungle, farm up as the Wraith King. He's going to go for the armlet first. This might be a game where he just has to go Radiant. As much as you want the armlet in some of these games, there's not that many merits for. I feel like he just needs to get Radiant so that he show up to the fights and beat.
Pressure thing though, he's just worried like, oh, okay, I have to fight earlier though, I can't.
Money to burn.
Maybe that is how he maybe he does feel like he has to.
Under attack.
Because just the way that the Hellbear Smashers have been playing consistently throughout this tournament, they reach a certain power point, and they just immediately, you know, start running at you, and they don't let up. But at the same time, you kind of have to play your own game of Dota
Radiant's
too, right?
bottom tower is
Yeah,
under
he's got to
attack.
play. He's got to play his own game, and his team has to make.
Are scanning.
They'll do that whenever they have lasso. Curry is going to start farming more ancients, so he is denying that area away from Mambos, which could hurt the Wraith King, but he's playing to his own gameplay.
Stack that he's good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well,
And we said that, you know, that bots BKB is the most important thing for them to have that pseudo frontliner
Radiant's
on
bottom tower
Hippomaniacs.
has fallen.
And at an okay time as long as he doesn't start dying a lot.
Denied.
There's only one kill in the game. B, we'll get it.
it is a bit curious that Stormstormer has kind of been just sitting around in the mid lane. I usually feel like he's a little more aggressive, but perhaps that's because he really has a better
Radiant
action room
structures are fortified.
that comes available.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah,
is
he has been
fallen.
very calm.
Gilgir.
Sure, it's Gilgir. He's gonna get spotted and
Yeah, he's not looking good here. He's caught over on the side, and he gets burnt to a crisp here.
he gave Fissure as well.
Did gave Fissure, and this is not looking great here for the Nature's Prophet as he got stunned up and is just getting chewed away by these ghosts. tOfu gets off the ultimate, the silence comes off as well, though. Looks like he's just gonna get chased down by Tipek here. Maybe a little bit more damage. Mambos joining in. Tipek still is gonna get that double kill.
Very nice. They show up for the action. And Gilgir not expecting to be under any vision there. That ward did see him second. They catch him, and now Rubick has Fissure, so that's gonna give a lot more potential for Hippos to fight around. Their exorcism does end, so I think damage for the part is, but hey, 4 kills.
Start. Need a little bit more than that, but definitely, you know, putting that pressure down. And usually it's the Hellbear Smashers who are doing that.
Yeah, and I think they also got the tower deny from them. Yeah, sehny did get the deny on that. They've got good defensive ward coverage, so they look like they're content with now just pace of the game slowing down a little bit while they can get these next few items to farm, get the Curry, slow farm the Radiance. Smashers aren't going to be able to take advantage of this too much with slowdown of the game.
Did he change his mind here?
Oh no, Mambos, yeah, he's going to just go straight. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that much better.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, there's really no reason not to do that against it.
Especially not after now you've gotten these 4 kills, you're starting to feel some momentum. You're probably like, okay, my team can make this. My Batrider can fight.
Oh, Gilgir again. Off the Enchant Totem. They use the Wrath of Nature for the Frostbite, and then he's just gonna burn to death.
And they save the last, so now they can set up for a future gank with the boot travels on another side. This is looking pretty decent for him. Exorcism down for 20, so not looking to play around 2. But when they have that one up, I could see Curry looking to go down bottom and for an opportunity.
But I mean, look at the... There's not much of a gold lead here. Yes, you've got 5 kills on the board, right, for the side of Hippos, but it's so neck and neck still, and they're still farming quite well on the side of Hellbear Smashers.
Yeah, but you did get your Batrider out of a pretty horrible situation lane, right?
Radiant's
So
bottom tower
I feel like
is
in that
under
situation,
attack.
you're kind of happy. You're happy you're playing versus like this Earthshaker Nature's Prophet, and you've evened the game out, slow it down through a rate. Things aren't getting out of control.
That's true. They aren't getting out of control. He has
You
to
do
make
have
the build up.
You can itemize to. That's the other thing too, right? If they don't have the overall AoE to deal with these illusions, the itemization is always something that come out. The Radiance, you know, these big 3 takers we always say, Radiance, Crimson Guard, Shivas. And they can build at least 2 of those items decently. Crimson Guard is an awkward one for their lineup, but Batrider can go BKB into Shiva. Wraith King's gonna have Radiance, so they will have tools as long as he doesn't get out of it.
Right now, it feels like he is fairly controlled. Definitely not super hard pressured, but, you know, he's not popping off like we usually see Ace do. And I think also, you know, Gilgir usually is the one who's making a lot of moves around the map early.
He is.
And this time, they've done so well with the vision to keep tabs on him the entire time that he's not being allowed to, you know, get that Blink Dagger super early and start making these huge contributions in fights.
Yeah, they've really addressed Gilgir. We're gonna see him look to start making moves with Stormstormer, as Stormstormer now has the Yules. Since he went bots, you know, this Lina was a very farm-esque Lina. 152 last hits, 0-0-0. Now he can look to help. Because Gilgir usually does get his blink around 15 minutes.
It does feel weird too, like I feel like Stormstormer, again, I think sometimes that really depends. But usually I feel like they're making more plays around.
Yeah.
Especially when you have that Nature's Prop. That can be presence.
Yeah, they did. I think just like the 1 or 2 mistakes that they had really slipped them up. Like that top where they didn't get the kill on the Death Prophet, they got turned on.
Yeah,
Probably changed their idea of how they wanted to play, so they're just farm and waiting for these items and win the fights just off spell casting. Gilgir, he will get the blink. He is having a good. Ace is getting his farm. Lina is getting. And now they have an Orchid also. Well, their cores are effectively there.
I mean, you've got the Batrider who's sitting at the top, but look at the discrepancy.
Yeah.
3 cores on the side of Hellbear Smash.
shocking.
And up on Batrider BKB, so front line is there. This is hard to stop. BKB and just find any one of the targets.
Is under attack.
Yeah, he
Radiant
shows his
structures
face.
are fortified.
Immediately, though, starts walking off to the side.
Aced Arcane Batrider. Dream.
The Exorcism, Stormstormer, he's got to get out of there, and he's got to get out of there fast. BKB's already been popped here by Curry. He's going to try to buy some time, try to waste it out a little bit, but they'll grab hold of Stormstormer. Rest of the team coming in, the Fissure gets dropped out, but the Exorcism goes and cleans up over onto Stormstormer. Sehny up behind here, the just getting chased down by Ace. rASmus was trying to make things happen on the back line, but Monk goes down. Eventually, he gets chased down by Tipek, but now he's got to run. These ghosts are doing a decent amount of damage. The Soul Spirit Siphon, decent amount over onto Ace, but they just don't want to commit after losing that many of the heroes.
Arcane and Haste Rune to just dive past and find Lina with E. 4 heroes for 2 supports. They don't quite take down the tower, but the Wraith King is still just farming. I think that Radiant setup.
He pops the BKB and then tries to take the silence off, tries to buy a little bit more time before rest of his team's in, but a little too difficult for the side of Hellbear Smashers, and Hippos grab themselves a really nice fight.
Hey, the absolute dream for the back. Arcane Haste Rune as he gets his BKB done, and they've done a great job this game of just making Curry that beast. He's part of all 7 kills. They enabled him perfectly.
Radiant's
If they can keep it up, they do
attack.
definitely have some hope in this game. Mambos is gonna have Radiance at a decent time versus the PL. It's gonna be a lot up to just actual team fights. If he can just train onto Stormstormer every single time, it doesn't look bad for him. Just remove that Lina's effectiveness.
He's got the Bull Whip on top of that, so he's very mobile, Batrider.
My second favorite.
All right, so when you play, do you have this urge to just be like, "Pcha," every time? Because I totally do, every time.
Yeah. Yep. Always using it on myself, using it on enemy. Even if you can't kill the enemy, you just whip them.
Yeah.
It feels so bad to just get nowhere.
It's definitely a fun item.
Bottom. We'll know that the Lina's set up. They have to blink on Gilgir. He's looking for an opportunity.
Said. He has his own whip, though.
The wards right next to each other. Both
Dire's
teams
middle
playing
tower is under attack.
clear understanding of where they are. Who's gonna get the better counter? As Curry is swooping over, this will make it a bit harder for
Fissure, Laguna, down goes Sehny.
Crystal Maiden.
So he'll reveal the fact that there's a ward. There's some ward coverage in that area there. And it's the 5 position. Good job there by the CM. And he is pinging it immediately.
Our bodies restored.
And if you're gonna lose someone to a gank, you want it to be your pos 5.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
they knew this was happening. Like, look at that position. Rubick and the Death Prophet. They were like, someone's gonna die here. All right, go in there, Sehny.
Play the role you were born to play.
Yeah. 5 position times, you know? Your job is literally to die.
Yeah. Have good positioning. Ooh, Mambos.
Oh, he's actually farming the tree, and they're aware of the positioning of the hero's bottom too, and they actually punish him. He's able to scurry away.
Dire are scanning.
Maybe they want to lay a trap for the 20 minutes.
Looks like it.
The blink dagger too. All right, smoke coming out from the side of the Hippos. For a
Radiant's
favorable
top
engagement
tower
here.
is under
Oh,
attack.
Curry's got blink. This is really good.
Dire's
Blink
middle
he does
BKB
pick that up.
is
already.
under
Yeah.
attack.
He can, yeah, if he just
Dire's
finds the Lina in all
structures
these fights, it could be
fortified.
absolutely. Then they just literally
Radiant's
take out the
top
mid.
tower has fallen.
See who he
Dire's
can
Dire's
grab.
middle tower is
tOfu. Gilgir throws out the Fissure.
Dire's middle tower
Like,
has
mop
fallen.
over here. Turn back around. They're going to be able to go burn down tOfu. Take a bath from Firefly. Down he goes. Muff, can he make it out in time?
Maledict.
Oh, the tick. Down goes Muff. So trade on supports. Hang out.
Only other bats will know
Good positioning from Gilgir. He gets the fissure. Stop that Batrider from chasing in. So yeah, Curry, he has a lot of good targets he can go for in these fights. Like Lina, Earthshaker, Prophet, all are pretty decent ones. Ace is a lot harder. If he can get Ace, sure. If they do have any follow-up. He doesn't have SNY or Manta to protect himself versus the silence and whatnot. But that's a much harder target to go. This is looking pretty good for Hippomaniacs, as the gold lead does slightly shift to Smashers, but it's been within 1K.
Has Lina had any kills besides that Crystal Maiden kill?
Nope.
No. Oh,
And
BKB
Lina.
from Curry. He's waiting patiently. He wants Stormstormer. The rest of the team, they can't do anything to go and interrupt this, so he's just gonna get dragged back and fried to a crisp.
This is looking kind of rough for Stormstormer. He needs to find some way to protect himself, like BKBs or Blink Daggers to move away from the positioning. It's gonna be BKB, but Death Prophet opens up and they're right around the rush pit. This is gonna be free Crippos.
I mean, maybe you get in there, you get a nice Echo Slam, but you really need that Lina there for the burst damage. So rASmus is already placing some pressure down the bottom lane. I think that's smart. I think that it's just really difficult to interrupt this. Come out on top here if you're a Hellbear Smasher.
Yeah, without your mid laner, no way. There is no lasso, but walking into that fight is just a bit too difficult. Ace does have SNY, but he still doesn't want to fight that. rASmus has BKB too, so he's a lot stronger. Now there's no exorcism, no lasso. Let's see what Hippomaniacs looks to do without
Radiant's bottom tower.
I thought they were going to make a play down here in the bottom area, but... Back off. They do manage to get the tower.
They give Curry the Aegis too, so hey, that's the method for him to just go into the back lines every time. So if he just die, either way, he's going to be able to jump into the back. Somebody. Another Arcane.
I was about to say, another Arcane. That's like, what, his second or third this game?
Feels like, yeah, third at least. Been finding pretty much all of them as lasso. Still down for 30. Exorcism also about 80 seconds. See if Smashers can punish this at all. If they just wait for these spells to come back up, then Hippomaniacs is going to be the one to bring the fight to them.
I will say that they do have the BKB up and running now over onto rASmus. So
we do.
That's going to make it a little bit easier for them to stand and fight. He's not going to have to worry so much about all of that, you know, Firefly all over the ground as well, but I don't know.
Stormstormer is just food. 1400 HP Lina with no BKB, no protection. Like Batrider just has to, Curry's job, just BKB, Blink, find Lina. Every single one of the fights, and they even have Blink follow-ups now too. Mambos has a Blink too. So, yep. Picking all the boxes right now.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Quite a close game now.
How did they get the... I feel like Hellbear Smashers need to... Look at rASmus. He's just like, nope, 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 nope. Curry blinks forward, searching for rASmus here. Does manage to find him. Puts out the Orchid, though. Gonna try to man-fight. Does have to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage. So they get an old Firefly. BKB comes out. He'll go and he'll drag him right over here to sehny. Are they gonna have enough here? No. He's gonna have to just teleport out.
That was a pretty big slip up there by Curry, actually, not just using the lasso earlier. As soon as the BKB comes out, rASmus knows he's fine. If lasso was already used, they have no way to cancel besides that. So, bit of a slip up there by Curry, and rASmus benefits a lot by it. 60 seconds, no lasso. Now they're looking to make their own aggressive.
Tipek. Now the fissure, open up the follow-up here with the silence, and there's going to be a Yule's Fly coming out, buys a little bit more time. Ring does give him a little bit more health, but at the end of the day, Tipek will go down.
Let's shake things up.
And every little thing matters. If rASmus dies top, there's a high chance they can't make that move bottom. And now they're actually going to continue to pressure down here. It looked like, at least from rASmus. He's actually going to back up. They don't have any info. Hasn't quite bought the shard yet on the Nature's Prophet. I thought he'd be bringing that one out.
I think he wanted that BKB first. I think that was a higher priority for him. Although he is going straight now into the Assault Cuirass instead of the shard.
Guess he's looking to be more of like an actual fighter because his Lina's having trouble. He actually has to show up to the fights more, so why? Stormstormer, he is getting close to his BKB. He needs to get that before they have any realms of being a fight. Curry's got the Aether, so he's not going to go for the Shiva's build. He's going to go for the Octarine. I guess that means the Death Prophet will go for Shiva's, and she is. So, yep, they're continuing to itemize versus that PL. And we'll have to see if it's all going to work out for them when Ace does look to actually join into the fray, as he's been very quietly farming in the midst of all this game. Heart on the menu, on the horizon.
It's getting there. He's, you know, just kind of playing his own game very quietly right now, but you have to watch out because it's Wraith King again. He is a big baddie. Top of the net worth, trading on and off, of course, with Ace, but like he said, they do have methods of dealing with this Phantom Lance. They do have to be pretty precise, but I would say right now, it just feels Hippomaniacs is just a very expensive creep on the map.
Yeah, he's definitely a liability until he has BK.
Dyer's
He is getting
middle
close,
tower
but
is
has to
under
be so
attack.
careful. If he's under a single ward, he just dies instantly. See the wards? I've been watching this from Hippomaniacs all game. Really good coverage. Really deep ones, really unexpected ones that have not been dewarded yet from Smashers. And they confidently push forward. They still have ages for about a minute, so Smashers are just
Radiant's courier has been
farm up and
killed.
split as best as possible. Gilgir cutting the mid wave.
Got his shard online,
Dyer's middle
does.
tower has fallen.
and he does what Gilgirs do best, which is murder couriers. Pick out Sehny's courier, but they do have to deal with
Radiant's
the
bottom
fact that the
tower
Hippos
is
are
under
knocking
attack.
at the front door right now.
Dyer's
Stormstormer, though, is
middle
able to
tower
clear out
is under
creep waves
attack.
pretty easily, as is Gilgir.
That's a good head.
Tough to break high
Radiant's
ground.
bottom
Don't want
tower
to knock
is
at
under
the doors
attack.
versus an Earthshaker at this point when your side lanes are being pushed so hard. They will have to back up and address those. Gonna give a window for Smashers to come out and maybe get... Wards are problematic. Muff. Bot's a DD top.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Indeed, so I have a feeling Curry will be bottling up. And can he pass it off to someone? I would have passed. Yeah, I was about to say, give that to Mambos.
He might just grab it himself so he can faster. Mambos actually changes his choice. He had BKB queued up and he's gonna go for AC. I actually would have liked him to continue
Radiant
going for
are
BKB.
scanning.
Wrath of Nature actually gives up the fact that there's a ward mid. D-ward by the
Radiant's
Hippos.
top tower is under attack.
And Aegis is really...
All right, so we've got a very big item picked up now for Stormstormer. He's got his BKB.
And they got hard on Ace. So I think this is big go time here for Smashers. Is as the Aegis gets reclaimed too, and they just got some decent vision. They have these wards down bottom and in the lane. Hippos, they're the one running in with this DD.
They don't have much time left on it, though, at this point. They've got to be
No.
quick and dirty with this. Smoke coming out from the side of Hellbear. Smashes. Mambos blinking into everyone. BKB immediately coming up from Stormstormer, though. He's going to sit far back here, be able to get some of these spells off. They do manage to find Ace over here on the side. Look at Curry. It's all right. They already managed to take them down once. As you're going to have the Wraith King coming right back up against Stormstormer. Will crumble. And now Ace is just getting locked down. He's going to go down as well. rASmus BKB TPing out here. Looks like tOfu's going to be left behind. Gilgir just running for his life. I did not expect
Oh
that
my
to
God.
go that well
Dyer's
for the
bottom
Hippos.
tower is
Good
under
lord.
I
attack.
did not either. Especially with Stormstormer gets the BKB off before that stun hits him. They're able to like reset kind of decently, but PL, he doppeled into everything. He's actually just getting destroyed by Exorcism, by Radiance, even by CM ult. All these different things were hitting him, and then he gets silenced. Look at him, right in the middle of everything. And watch,
Everything.
CM ult, everything is hitting him. Firefly, every spell connecting perfectly, and then there's the silence and a follow-up stun. A beautiful fight. Hippomaniacs is Mambos. No chill. Jumps onto the high ground blind to start that fight.
Did you see how fast Curry, once he popped that BKB, he just beelined for Stormstormer. Once the Laguna was down, was just like all up in his face. Nicely played, but again, the placement of Ace in the middle of all of that. It almost, you know, we criticized the draft, right? The fact that it feels like, who's going to be your frontliner? Who's going to be tanky on the side of Hippos? But now you're kind of looking at a similar problem coming up in Hellbear Smashers as Gilgir whipped off to the side. It looks like they're still going to manage to get the kill over on the CM, but the Soul and Death Ward from Muff goes and cleans up over onto Gilgir. Herman's going to be able to walk away. Tipek, bounce back here. Gilgir buying back. Ace, still eyes on the prize. They managed to go get off the Laguna Blade over here onto Tipek. And they are chewing him down pretty quickly, but that Spirit Siphon is doing so much to keep him alive, as is the Essence Ring. Ace is really having to work for this, and he still hasn't managed to take down this Death Prophet. Finally, as she does go down, they'll get the kill on the Rubick over on the back lines.
Top skeletons are actually pushing though. These are buffed up skeletons too, 61 damage.
Yeah, it looks like the Nature's Prophet will go home, go deal with those, but the
Radiant's
pressure's on here.
bottom is under attack.
Want to try to force out some
Radiant
buybacks or
structures
something,
are
or
fortified.
at least get some damage on the tower. But they go and they get the lasso off here on the top lane. rASmus, he's just being held in place. He's got that BKB. Stormstormer coming back as well. Is Curry going to be allowed to take this?
Wait, but Curry just botched up there.
He just
That means
botched
he's
right
not
on
gonna be
up.
at base.
He's not there. He's gonna be able to fly away, but that is one way to go and slow this down. And now over here on the side, Ace, he needs help. Gilgir still standing off onto the lines here. No mana left over here onto Mambos. Ace is just trying to run back. They're thinking about maybe poking back in again. Gilgir throwing out the fissure, making sure they'll cut off that line so that way they can't reach Ace. Break it down for me, Fuck. What did we just watch?
Smasher's trying to take advantage of cooldown. At least what I felt like I was watching. Just Death Prophet Exorcism was down, Lasso was down, they were charging forward. Curry now used the Lasso up top, so maybe this is where Smasher still has a window for something. Even if they don't have Echo, they're looking for something.
Well, they'll find sehny, and they'll use Laguna and many other things on him. So Crystal Maiden is down, but they also managed to find Tipek. Mambos are jumping back in over to the back lines. Glimmer Cape coming out will buy a little bit more time to tOfu so he can get some of these spells up. Exorcism also coming out. rASmus, he needs to be careful here. He's got the trees. He gets bumped out. He does go down. Stormer and Ace trying to man fight here. Mambos, he's still alive somehow after all was said and done. Eventually, he does go down for the first time. It feels like the Hellbear Smashers, they don't want to keep going for this, though, as they do manage to find another kill on Gilgir.
They have to start backing away. Ace is starting to run out of mana. Death Prophet ulti is ending, though, as well soon, but still Hippomaniacs is trying to chase and catch. Their Lasso is up in 15. We'll back away. And they can't kill Tipek in time for him before he gets the Exorcism off. As soon as Exorcism goes off, it seems really problematic for Smash fights. They also didn't have Echo. That was them hunting for the fight, just trying to take advantage of Lasso being down.
Yeah, I was surprised because it was still on like a 30-second cooldown when they first initiated into that fight, but it just feels like it's so hard to take down this Death Prophet. We watched Ace chase her through the entire map a little bit earlier too, like the Spirit Siphon, Essence Ring, like it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's tough, and she's going to be going through the BKB next. They can't burst her before she gets the Exorcism off, and yeah, the fight just looks really hard for them there as Ace, he survived for a long time. His damage isn't really that overwhelming. Just they've itemized. They've chosen for the items that you want to build first, that PL, the Shivas, the Radiance, all these things, even the AC on Mambos, everything coming into play versus...
Man, they're not going to be able to get over this pit fast enough.
No.
It's just the Roche for them. Do you think that...
The game is getting hard for Smash to do.
Will Stormstormer be holding all of his burst damage for the Death Prophet to you? Is that what they need to do right now?
It feels like he does. It feels like he has to just stay really far back. He just has to be really careful. I don't think it's just so much about his one Laguna as much as being able to reset the fights and get like 5-6 stuns out and get the fights out. I think those long duration team fights are where Smashers have to accept. Even though they're playing into Exorcism, they have to like kite it and they have to play around it really, really, really well and just be careful for the Lasso to drag them back. It's not going to be easy fights for them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It just always feels, it feels like the opposite, you know, in some of the other games, right? You've got rASmus teleporting home to go deal with the boys that are knocking at the door. Instead of the fact that, you know, usually it's the Nature's Prophet who's making everybody.
Yeah, that is a good point, and that is something that we did see Mambos went for with his talent build. I actually never see people take either of those talents. They always take the 12 strength, they almost always take the 30 move speed. He took skeleton attack, and cheat skeleton spawn.
Well, they're gonna finish off this mid tower with the Exorcism.
Dire's structure.
That Aegis online.
Lift top lane after the tower.
Oh, the Lasso drag back though. They immediately find the Lina, and they're just trying to obliterate Stormstormer. It's okay though. He does have the BKB. He's gonna be able to survive a little bit longer. rASmus also popping his BKB. They turn back around. They'll take down the Wraith King the first time. They need to do more though. There's the Echo Slam coming out. They're trying to burst down the Death Prophet. He's so damn tanky, but they finally do manage to take it down. sehny is just letting it go over on the side, dropping that freezing field, and the Glimmer Cape is cute. Not gonna be enough to save him this time around, as the Hellbear Smashers finally look like they've been able to take a decent fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's where the Shaker gets to get everything off. Gilgir, he's been having a tough game, but when it's into your base, you're able to just get your fissures, your enchant totems perfectly. Same thing for Witch Doctor, you just have easier access to spell usage. Death Prophet, Wraith King have to be much more careful here, as Mambos doesn't have BKB, so these stuns, they're very impactful on him. He gets chain stunned and then just gets brought down. When he revives, he still has to just back away. Can't actually commit onto anyone. Might have to go for a BKB next item, but...
Is it a situation where they have to also get picked off first before they can reach the high ground?
Yeah, it was pretty over-aggressive there by Curry, just blinking in, trying to grab the Lina. You know, they don't really have that crazy amount of burst unless the Wraith King gets right on her, and he doesn't have BKB, so he can't follow up as well as he'd like to. be that right-click damage through the So I think, yeah, they'd probably need to wait for a pick-off or wait for the Abyssal on the Wraith King or something like that so they actually have damage through that BKB Lina.
Dire are scanning.
The seeds of fortune.
Yeah, coin.
All right, well, the bounty runes are up and they're snapped up by the side of the Hellbear Smashers.
And we got all of them. Curry. Found rASmus.
Fine, rASmus, but does he have enough damage anymore? Not sure. Okay, if he's going to have Muff there, the BKB does come out, though, and they don't have any solutions. They'll throw out a Fissure from Gilgir just to ensure that rASmus can get out easily.
What if he got first hit bash? That would have been sad.
That would have been very good news for the Hippos. That always feels bad, though. The percentage chance, you're just like, no! Tipek. rASmus is here. Ace is here. He is very far up. I don't think he was expecting rASmus to be here as well. The silence gets thrown out. And again, this Death Prophet is fairly tanky, but with the Lina joining into the fight now, can they take down this Death Prophet? Yes, they can with the Laguna and with rASmus right clicks here.
That's the biggest kill they can find on the map. That's 70 seconds where Hippomaniacs can't fight. This exorcism is extremely impactful.
It's like they don't realize he's up there. They don't have any
Radiant's
vision.
top tower is
But
under attack.
Abyssal Blade gets picked up now for Wraith King. Talking about that's a solution here for when she be.
Yeah, now if they go for those lasso plays out of the base,
Radiant's
they have a instant follow-up and maybe some damage control for it. But they do still have to pick and choose their targets quite carefully, as Stormstormer has 6,000 gold. So he might just buy a full link and protect himself versus the single target disables.
With Ethereal Blade picked up.
Such mimicry.
Okay.
No Death Prophet though for 25 seconds. They're gonna allow Ace to put a decent amount of damage over here on the tower. Mambos jumping forward here. I'm not sure why he. All right, they just wanted to clear them away, I guess. Yeah, he used the Abyssal Blade on that. I guess he thought perhaps.
Denied.
I think they
don't know.
really wanted to stop the push. I don't know, like CM ulted as well, so they just really wanted to buy time for Death Prophet.
I'm surprised. I guess
Very
they
chasing.
Oh yeah, they managed to go and grab Gilgir here. Rest of the team standing nearby, jumping forward. E-Blade comes out. Curry gets himself a kill on Gilgir, and they have a nice ward up as well. So
We see the lines
the rest
drawn
of the team
immediately.
all ran over.
Yeah.
For
Lines
rASmus,
drawn by
at least.
Smashers.
Dr. App. Switcheroo though.
Does he really?
No,
Oh, I
not
thought
the
he
full
had it.
thing.
I was gonna
He's
say,
working
oh
on
my.
it. Yeah, no, tOfu is not that wealthy. My God.
Oh, look at it
Signs
go!
coming out. We have the for rASmus.
He is going to be very strong. I saw you had the Hex queued up. He looks like he just wants to be a right clicker. Just stand in the fights and just back versus the Wraith King with that Death Prophet. I quite like it. Then he can actually help out with the PL, with Ace, who also fresh Abyssal, and as you said, the Penta Edge Sword.
Yeah.
PL, really nice pickup.
I feel like he has to. Like this Lina has struggled so hard in a lot of these fights, and that they just seem like a lot of the times when someone gets away, it's just with a tiny sliver of health.
No, I like that he's gone for this build rather than like casting. He hasn't involved the shard.
Tipek using the BKB. He's got to try to run away here. The rest of the team is following up. Mambos rejoin. That is the BKB down on the Death Prophet. That's a fresh BKB that just got picked up as well.
That hurts to use, but he had to. He would have died otherwise. All that Maledict damage coming up from the floor, he would have taken even more. Timeless Relic picked up. Great pickup for the side of Hippomaniacs. And a Penta Edge Sword, so they get their own. He actually gets rid of them. Okay, he gets rid of the Minotaur Horn. So he has no BKB, no way to protect himself versus spells on Mom. All about damage.
Sweeping over towards the top end of the map, Curry. Very forward here. Does have the rest of his team kind of supporting him from behind.
Gilgir gets a lot more freedom now too. He got the ninja gear, so now he can actually just swoop around through these wards. He can even look to reclaim the outpost. 40 seconds left on it too. This is a nice grab, and this will protect him a lot versus Bat. Probably one of the best pickups you find on the map. Sit in the back lines and hide. Hippomaniacs will be the one to get the Illusionist cape, so it's not so lucky. TP is stopped, Curry.
Yep.
Gilgir's gonna chain stun him.
Down. He's got the BKB, but they follow up and they have the Abyssals all set and ready here. Another batch coming out. Rest of the team, they even go and they throw the Witch Doctor Ward onto the high grass. They don't lose side of him as Curry does get murdered.
90 seconds as well. Oh my god, that is a huge window for Smashers to do anything they want, really. If they're aware that he has no buyback, they can just push down this lane.
I'll take
Grab
that.
up the runes at the very, very least. But yeah, you can see that they're grabbing their creep wave right now, and they're making their way towards the top.
And send a courier to Roche as well, because you should know that it's going to be respawning soon. They might, if they get lucky with this spawn timer.
And they're truly blessed by the ice frog. Clearly.
It's pretty short. It's 48 seconds. It's not going to be in time for them to go there immediately to get it, but
under attack.
Put a little damage on the tower. Right. Ace chewing through the buildings.
Radiant's top
Take down
tower.
rASmus, giving those clicks forward too.
Radiant's
Fissure
top
gets
tower.
tossed out, landing on 2. Oh, with the Wrath of Nature
my
too. Oh
God.
my god, it's disgusting how much damage that comes
Radiant's
out.
top barracks has fallen.
That was almost a very dead Rubick. And just like that,
I feel like
they back off.
that spell should do less damage. Just that would be a nice patch. Wrath of Nature no longer supports with the last bound. Just can't. It only can hit core heroes with the last bound.
Yeah, one can wish, but I don't think we're gonna get that lucky.
There's the lanes now. The pressure's coming on all fronts. Double catapult waves coming into 40 minute. See how they deal with it. 13 seconds still.
Sehny. Oh, Sehny, they saw you coming from a mile away. No Crystal Maiden now on the board. Mambos running right back into his base. Has finished up the Swift Blink though.
Okay, no buyback. That means so he's full committed and no protection for him. No BKB, no nothing. So stuns
Radiant's
will be
middle
very
tower
tough for him
is
to
under
deal with.
attack.
As Roche said, respawning very soon. Smashers, it is comes up right in front of them. They can commit for this one as it has a Aghanim lesson.
Guess it's probably going over on Stormstormer, yeah?
Yeah, more than likely.
Is that extra bit of
Falling to the down.
Oh, okay. Tipek trying to kill on
Current kill.
It's a nice pick off.
rASmus picked it up. He hasn't decided who's getting it yet, though.
2.
Yeah, he's just hanging on to it. It's in his backpack. Hey, his isn't bad either. The root is actually pretty annoying. It's like AoE over. It's global overgrowth, but he hasn't moved it in yet. So hopefully he notices. Or hopefully
I'm sure he
passes it
knows.
off to Lina.
I'm sure he noticed that he's got. There's no way that he's just, oh, hey.
Moxie, you know we say that, but we've seen cheeses and TIs left the pit at TI.
That's true. That's very true. I can't give them. There it is. Yes, they gave it to Lina. All right.
Yeah, a very appropriate one as he's playing into those BKBs. That'll be some nice burst chunk to go through. And Stormstormer now so much more protected. You know, he's finished his Lincoln some time ago. He's even close to that next item. They've really started to secure the map these last 10 minutes.
It's been one hell of a recovery game for. We're also looking for an. Already backing up though.
It's pretty crazy to say that that one death from Curry, that was his only death. That felt like one of his only mistakes he's really made on the Batrider this game, and it is a pretty impactful.
It just opened the door, right? Like it allowed them to realize, okay, there's no bat on the map. We don't have to worry about this pressuring. We just go and we'll take, 2 towers off of it. It's wild.
The mid muff.
Oh.
The Abyss on a creep.
Yeah. It's fine. He meant to do that, right? It's just like, what the Wraith King did earlier. Totally meant to do that. Calculated.
Yep.
Rest
The
in
ace
peace.
with the freedom of spider legs too, so he is effectively a full 6-slotted hero right now.
It feels nice.
Not the best 6-slotted item, but Hunter the PL
It's
is one of the better 6-slotted items.
It is needed. Still, I love the fact that Gilgir has can allow him. He's always had very good position, felt like. And that is a testament to Hippomaniacs being in the right place, right time. But
yeah, it always helps him. He's just not going to get initiated on. Stormstormer just has to be careful when his Lincoln gets broken. He has to play back, as we see there. Lincoln comes back up. He might be looking for it again. They're going to back up. rASmus continue to farm. He's got the 0 cooldown teleport. He can come back to his team whenever.
the double damage runner inside of the pit.
Both teams have vision of that.
Tries to see Aid go saunter over that way and get himself a little double damage runner. Looks like he's got murder on the mind.
But he has to be cautious as well himself. He's also going for a Lincoln's, just any type of protection versus that Abyssal. Easy targets to just jump in, BKB lasso, and not get controlled.
Oh, are they gonna go? Are they gonna hard commit on this? It looks like they are. They're gonna try to burn down the Wraith's first life. Down he goes. Lasso's getting killed over on the back lines over on the rASmus. but they have these BKBs. They turn back around. The Ghost are just shredding through rASmus, though. As Tipek, he's got the exorcism off. Now Stormstormer trying to just get over to the high ground. Ace over on low ground. Nice fissure coming out. Will hold him into place. Can they burn him down fast enough? They do have the Ethereal Blade, keeping Tipek alive just a little bit longer. They're still hunting. tOfu gets off one of his spells. Good Glimmer Cape usage that will keep Tipek alive as he turns back around. But they're all hunting this witch. They want to take down this Death Prophet. Light Striker Ray comes through, and they'll finally take down Tipek.
They can't get to the back line on the side of Hippomaniacs. Gilgir is just chilling, throwing fissures and enchant totems, chain stunning heroes. Same thing with the Witch Doctor. They are low on mana now. Stormstormer is a bit limited, but he has bottle. Still got Aegis. They're going to continue the push. 80 seconds, no Death Prophet, and just no uses him for a long time.
Oh, the jump forward immediately, but he's not able to finish off over onto tOfu. tOfu, he does eventually go down here. Echo Slam coming up from Gilgir, though. It's beautiful as it lands over onto the back lines, and they're just queuing through Mambos now. Gilgir does go down. Mambos, he's still alive, but he eventually goes down. There's going to be the reincarnation coming out. The last one was used on this Phantom Lancer, taking a lot of damage, and I think it's enough to take him out. Now Stormstorm is just running for his life here, hoping that no one blinks forward, no one's gonna find him. Hiding over in the tree line. It's like he's gonna be allowed to teleport out.
He actually just got cast between his illusion and himself. He got lasso pulled in, and then just the cast bounced back and forth. Probably dies anyway, because of the chase that they all still were alive with, but damn, what a fight by Hippomaniacs. Jumping in, a very unexpected one, the way they jumped too. As if Death Prophet's dead, they just see an opportunity to grab someone outside the base. And they do find the real PL. The lasso does snag him there.
And that was such a nice Echo Slam here from Gilgir, but the rest of the team rumbling during that fight. But
I'm
yeah, the
watching
lasso.
Stormstormer, just 0 mana in the back. Look at this Lina. He has a stun, but that's it. He has no mana. He has the Aegis to work with, but he has to reset because he doesn't have that mana.
Yeah.
So great identifying point by Hippomaniacs. And now other way, they're knocking on the high ground.
Getting reclaimed now. Buys themselves a little bit more time. The lasso, though, back here over on tOfu. He's going to get dragged forward. They tried to use the linkage to save him, but not going to be enough. So down goes the Witch Doctor. Gilgir is here, though, of course. Gets a nice fissure off. Totem throwing out a nice LSA, too. Difficult for them to try to fight into this, but they're putting the damage out over onto the buildings. Bottom lane, you can see they're sending all of those trees.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Chipping away. Curry's trying his best to clear them up. Almost does get forced back, though. They throw out a fissure. Courier gets taken out, too. What's he working on here? I knew he had it queued up, but
I think he killed it before he actually got to pick anything up, but oh my. Huge fights. rASmus getting caught off. No, now he still hasn't even gotten the cheese off. He did die earlier without having in his bags.
Well, I will say, like, the times you have to be scared, like most scared of a wounded animal is when their back's up against the wall. And I would say the hippos right now. You know, they've
The rapier.
He did the rapier. And
This
they smoke up.
This could totally catch him off guard. These heroes are still gonna start just getting like straight up one-shotted. Stormstormer has no armor items. He's 13 armor Lina. They're on the high ground though. Positioned nicely. The scan comes out. Curry, another arcane rune.
Matter though, Curry jumping forward. There's tOfu, Stormstormer. Lincoln gets popped. Mambos jumping on in over on the back line. This Lina's taking too much damage. Does get the Lina blade off the Stormstormer. Still goes down. It's gonna be the buyback now coming out from Lina. They're not willing to give this up just yet. They've got so much damage as Ace also now going down. tOfu and Gilgir trying to run away. The blink forward here. tOfu buys himself a little bit more time as he does have that Glimmer Cape. But a couple nice donks here with the coconut. tOfu leading them on a very slow chase, I guess. You know, he's trying to buy a little bit more time. But look at this. They're doing a decent amount of damage over there to the towers. tOfu still leading them through. They have the vision, though. Down he goes.
Oh, man, this rapier is doing so much damage. He 2 or 3 shotted the Lina. And then they get Ace. He's singled out. He gets frostbitten. He gets focused down. Also 2 or 3 shot. Hippomaniacs are doing it.
They are indeed.
And Curry just time and time again, he's just finding the perfect targets to go on. 5-1 and 16. This Batrider has played a pretty much perfect game. He had this hard lane and he recovered really nicely. And he's just finding every single one of these picks. This is
under attack.
Ace, 45 seconds.
Watching these trees try to go through back to protection. Teleports over into the mid lane, though. They're ready to take some more buildings here. They do have buyback on the Phantom Lance, so I don't think they want to. Bloodthorn is completed. Gilgir throwing out a fissure. Slow them down just a
Dire's
little.
middle tower is under attack. Dire's
But it looks like are they looking to just finish? They're looking to just finish now.
Dire's structures
Pressure
are
over here on the
fortified.
tier 4s.
Might be able to force it. Ace has 15 seconds left. He really doesn't want to buy out.
He doesn't. They are putting some more damage, though, down into that bottom lane because rASmus trying to rapidly split push as much as he can. As the teleports are coming back, they do realize if they have an actual creep wave, these priests a lot of damage. They get the lasso up, though, over onto rASmus, plus the E-Blade. He's just stunned up. He cannot do anything. Does have the BKB, though, so not quite enough damage to take him down this time around, as there's this big smoke coming out from the side of Hellbear Smashers. Can they get anything off of this? Knowing that the
Can they
bat
catch?
Scanning.
there. They
Yeah,
spotted out that
is
ward.
there.
Radiant's courier
rASmus
has
will
been
find a
killed.
courier. He'll TP out immediately afterwards. His team looking for the hunt.
Pincer, the smoke. Stormstormer needs to be careful. He's very far forward here. He immediately gets jumped up. Look at that raw damage coming out here from the Wraith King. As they go, they throw out a picture. Can they kill him a number of times? All right, first death down. Still the good play though over on the backlines from Muff, and they turn right back around again. Curry's doing so much damage with the backlines thrower as well. Stormstormer does go down. Mambos fall next. And now it looks like Tipek. He's running away with these ghostly ladies. The fissure does connect, but they've not managed to find really anything else here. Sehny is out of Nana. They'll chase them down.
We must clean.
So who picked it up? It is indeed Ace.
Yeah, they didn't actually get the control onto
Dire's middle
Stormstormer
tower
this
is
time.
under
The last
attack.
time they did break the Lincolns and then get the Abyssal so that he got killed instantly. Stormstormer is able to reset. He gets a secondary stun. They surround Mambos and he goes down. 70 seconds, no buy. Now it's Ace with that rapier. He's got a second one queued up as well. As this time they're able to actually take the fight.
Oh, Muff. Muff. Oh.
This phase of your journey
Dear.
is at an end.
Ooh, a gem's on the floor. They didn't see that one.
But they didn't. Well, consolation
Back the
prize.
other
At
way.
least they, you know, they murdered you, but they didn't mug you.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yep.
Buyback coming out now from Crystal Maiden. They do have buyback over on the Wraith King and
Radiant's
on
bottom barracks are under
the
Radiant's
Rubick,
bottom.
but look at these buildings. They're just getting shredded.
Radiant structures are fortified.
All right, there's the lasso drive back over onto rASmus, but they'll jump back in again. Nice silence getting laid out. This is not looking good for rASmus. Looks like he's gonna fall, and they have their eyes over here onto this Phantom Lancer. He's gonna turn, he's gonna try to man fight over here, and they have the axe over on the Witch Doctor doing so much damage as they do manage to take almost down. The first time Ace here trying to fight through. He just doesn't seem to have enough damage. He's trying to run away here. And they just chase him down. Do they have the vision? Do they have anything to save this? No, they turn back around. They have the Hex. They've got their eyes on him. They're able to go and retrieve that dagger. Or not the dagger, the rapier. Oh my god. Buyback now coming out from Ace.
Dire's
Wants to get back into this
is
fight.
under attack.
They have to defend their throne.
They do.
Ancient's dying to creeps right now. And a triple buyback that no Ace Masters was prepared for. Hippomaniacs just jump out and grab them, and now Mambos running down mid. There's no Nature's Prophet. They got the catch. He does not have buyback. They might just be able to commit for the throne. There's no glyph.
And there's just so much damage again. The damage and the control coming out here.
Even a
They get a death zone now picked up for the Batrider. They want to finish.
They know that they can. This is going to be a hard defense here for Smashers.
Indeed, BKB coming out from Stormstormer. They get the Yules off as well. Curry jumping out to the back lines. We'll be able to go grab up the Witch Doctor. Do they have enough damage? Can they just hold him down into place? Lock the Bar Wraith King. Going down the first time. Curry, though, still hunting. And they have all these extras and all these ghosts coming out. They do manage to go and stunlock him, but they'll go right back in again. This is not looking good here. And those Red comes off, though. Can they defend? There's so much damage coming out, but they're still fan fighting. They do manage to finally take down Mambos. And now they'll chase over after Gilgir. He goes down. Everything he can from the Ancient. It falls, and the GG gets called.
Holy crap. We got a series on our hands.
We do indeed.
That was very good recovery and just good back and forth coming up.